Any questions? Okay, the community breakfast.
Okay. So I had some interest from some businesses that were interested in perhaps sponsoring a community breakfast, which I thought would be a great idea. And I'd like to continue it perhaps every quarter, maybe 4 times a year. And I'd like to gear it towards the working man, because I feel like Lovington is a lot of a working man's town, and sometimes I feel that they may not be recognized. So I'd like to host a community breakfast from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning at one of our local restaurants. We could do it actually at our chamber offices, but I was going to partner with a local restaurant, and I wanted to use the lodger tax fund for advertising for the community breakfast, meaning that the guys that are going out into the oil field or working plumbers and electricians and all those people that get up early have a chance to come in, have the community in Lovington, and remotely advertise it by radio. So I contacted the radio stations. They give us whatever we do in radio, they'll give us a free spot. So it's a 2-for-1 match on that. And I thought it would be nice if we had a one of the DJs there to invite people in, so people could just mingle and relax and get a hot breakfast before they go to work.
Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you. Rosa?
Well, as you all know, I'm here because Jim has been sick. He had open heart surgery, and he's still recouping, so you get me. The first thing is the sign. You know, we're requesting funds for the sign. That was rejected last time, but we really, really need it. As they come in, people come in from Hobbs, they really need to see this sign, you know, that we're here. The museum is alive, and the doors are open. The next thing would be the proposal of the funding for our bookstore. Not only for the bookstore, but also for drawing the people in, and in the same time, you know, coming in and making sure that our bookstore is open and that they can buy books, that they can go through the museum, and it is important, you know, to let them know that that we're here. The museum has been a vital part of Lovington for many, many years, and so many people that have come in, they say, well, I hadn't been here. I've been here all my life, and I never had come to the museum. This is wonderful. Yes, we need to let them know that we are here, and the advertising, of course, does a great deal for us. The other thing is the photography. This Ginger. It is the same as what we've had before. You know, every 3 or 4 months we change our art gallery.
What is it?
It's Ginger, it's photography.
We didn't get it.
We didn't get that one.
Is it the cook art?
Mm-hmm.
Cook art? Oh,
Cook.
okay.
Oh.
Cook.
Cisco
Ginger,
Cook art.
Ginger
Okay.
Cisco Cook is
Oh,
her name.
okay. We don't have
Okay.
Ginger.
I thought, yeah, I read
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Oh, there it is right here, Ginger Cisco Cook.
Ginger
Oh, down
Cisco
here.
Cook.
Should've read.
I was looking up here. I'm like, Ginger, I don't see Ginger either.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's
Gotcha.
basically photography that will go up in the art gallery, and we'd like to advertise like we've done in the past. You know, the latest one that we have is Livestock at Large, which is Joanne McMahon. That was very, very successful opening. We had like 93 people there, very successful, and she sold some of her pieces too. So this lady is from Texas, and we anticipate that she'll bring some of her following from over there which has been the norm for the other art openings that we've had. I think this is it. Just to let you know about the museum, I encourage you, if you have not been there in the last 6 months, come by. It is open. The Lister building has got the exhibits upstairs. They're curated already. They're finished. It is really, really something that you all need to see and be aware of. So I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mata.
Good afternoon. Not sure what order they're in, but I'll go ahead and start off with the enjoy local. So what we're trying to do is kind of give awareness of the restaurants that we have in our downtown area, especially now that the judicial complex has finally up and standing. We want to be able to, just highlight some of those different businesses that don't use social media, like the Lazy Six and Rancho Grande, and or actually, yeah, Rancho Grande Ranch House is over there. Sorry, I always get those two confused. And just kind of bring a little bit more awareness as to what their daily specials are, what they do. And we hope to do it with lodger's tax, because people from out of town always need to find a place to eat. So that would help with that. At the same time, we hope this gives them an incentive later on that, you advertising on Facebook actually does work, and it does bring in more awareness, and it does help you with your daily specials and stuff like that. The second one that we're hoping to do is going to be, we haven't thought of a name yet, but I'm sure James will come up with a great one later. It's going to be a downtown scavenger hunt. We did this at Portales Main Street for their conference 2 months ago. And it was really interesting because basically it's a scavenger hunt, but you have to go into each business and take a picture or find X thing based on the clues. We were going to add another aspect to where if you purchased said thing, you would have an opportunity to increase your points, and then we do a giant gift basket of all the downtown businesses stuff. Again, highlighting and making sure that everyone shops local, our money stays local. It would be a 3-day, it's either going to be a 3-day thing or a week long, because I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to just do it all in one day. That way it would give them a little bit different chances of actually going through it, and at the end of the day it's still whoever wins, who gets all of them right first. And I mean, again, if you buy stuff, it's gonna increase your chance a little bit. And we're really just trying to encourage everyone to shop local, because after the holidays nobody spends any money, so we want to make sure we stay with
Did
that.
you make sure that date is not spring break?
Yes, I did. It's
Thank
the weekend of Go Green stuff. Earth Day. Sorry.
Green stuff.
St. Patrick's Day?
Yes. St. Patrick's Day, yes.
Earth Day is in April.
Is it? Oh, well, I have it backwards then. But we didn't want to do it in April either, because we didn't want to compete with them. But the spring break weekend is the last week of March, so we're okay. Questions? Good. Okay.
I don't know, we don't do it in Lovington anymore.
Oh, we got
They don't have the race for the
the race for the cure.
anymore in Lovington, do they?
The courthouse, right?
Oh, yeah, the Relay for Life, that's what it's called. Relay
Well,
for
that's what
Life.
I meant,
Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't think, yeah. But I don't know if do they still have it?
It's usually Mayor June.
Yeah, I don't.
They moved it away.
Relay for Life is in Hobbs now. It's like a county thing.
Yeah, the first one I went to, I thought I was going to absolutely freeze to death.
And that's when they stopped doing it.
Consequently, that was the last one I went to. Okay, Wild Bunch.
Wow.
You make no copies of this, we're trying to save trees.
Okay.
You gotta kind of get an understanding of what it all brings to the city for every turn. You know, when I go out of town, I'll spend at least $200 easy. So what we're doing is we're trying to get enough money allocated to pay for all the shirts that we give away. So that gives me more money to spend money on different stuff such as bats, bags, backpacks that attracts more teams to come to these events. And we keep getting, you know, more and more. Pretty soon, hopefully one of these days we can get a new complex.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good?
Well, I mean,
So I just kind of wanted you guys to have an idea of what, you know, these events really bring to the city and to us.
Okay.
And we enjoy it.
good question?
No question?
Thanks.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, I write upside down. Did you get to read that?
No.
Okay. Okay, Evelyn. Y'all are gonna be busy. All of y'all.
We are, first time we've decided to do a job fair here in Lovington. Job fairs are usually always taking place in Hobbs, either at the event center or at another location. What I plan on doing is visiting every business in town here in Lovington, where it's going to be an invitation for all of Lee County, but I will be visiting every business in Lovington to help them recruit for their vacant positions. What our main priority is to create jobs. What we're going to do is set up a job fair either at the youth center or at the Troy Harris Center, depending on the size people that we get. Sorry, I've been sick for the last 3 days. What we'll do is help the companies, local companies, fill positions. If they're not able to attend the job fair, we will do it for them. We will take applications for their vacant positions. What we've also incorporated was, prior to the job fair, we will be hosting a resume builder mock interview type setting. What we're trying to do is help the high schoolers that are going to graduate or on the process of leaving to college, is helping them build their resume, prepare them for when they do graduate. Just in the last probably 2 months, I have helped over 15 kids build their resumes. And that's just something that if it's not me, it's the chamber, what we've been helping them do that. And what we're doing prior to the job fair is helping them build their resume, help them learn how to interview, prepare them. Kids in the high school days are not prepared at all. They don't know what to do. So what we're doing is we're going to offer kind of like a certificate kind of deal where they can incorporate it into their resume, but we're going to require them to go through all three, which is technically we'll help them build their resume. Then we will put them how to dress for interviews, mock interviews, just so they can know how to interview, what you can do's and don'ts of an interview. And then we will provide which jobs suit them for the job fair. And each student or person, it doesn't have to be a student, it's going to be open for everyone and it's free, which jobs they should go after, which ones are available, which their resumes qualify for, and help them through that process.
So it doesn't have to just be high school students to help them with the resume?
It's open for everyone. It's open for everyone, but we are going to reach out to the high school and ask teachers if maybe we can make it like an assignment where we require kids to go through each process, because if it's not an elective or if it's not forced or you have to do it, they're not going to do it. They'll just wait till someone else like me after they're done with school to help them do their resume.
In the advertising, are you going to say it's open to everyone?
It's open for everyone.
So that might hear that can possibly come.
Absolutely. It's open for anyone age It's just what we're doing is we're targeting the high school kids. We're gonna have instructors that are coming from out of town. This is in conjunction with the Chamber and the Main Street. All three organizations are gonna help make this event possible. Chamber has a few folks from Texas that will be coming down helping with the mock interviews. We have some folks from Holly Frontier that will help with the job fair. So everyone has a little bit that they're in charge of to make it a successful event. So.
Okay. Any questions?
Overall questions or on that specific?
Overall.
Okay, the sign,
They did get funds for that last quarter.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say,
$255 last quarter.
right, how do we handle that, Mr. Susan?
If they don't turn in the policy that we have set up is all invoices for the previous quarter have to be submitted by the 25th
Oh, it's in the minutes.
of next
Might need to
month.
read.
So if we don't receive anything,
Okay.
that gets zeroed out and absorbed back into the fund.
Okay, go ahead, Rosa, I'm sorry, I was just following up on it, go ahead.
Yes, I think we were awarded, what, 250?
255.
Yeah,
We couldn't do anything with it, so we didn't use it.
That's why you applied again. Because I was
well,
looking
you
for
ended up, okay, my question is, and this, you know, is for clarification only, okay, this time, if we go by the rate, and I know you don't have this in front of you, but you're looking at $300. Where, in other words, if we don't fund it completely, you're not gonna buy it, is that kind of what I'm getting?
We're not gonna paint it
Or whatever, yeah, whatever our goal is here.
Again, I don't know,
You know.
I know that we didn't use it last time, but I don't know how much he's figuring on what it would take. I really don't know.
Okay,
So
so we just treat it as a new request then?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because he did send in the request.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But they didn't use it last quarter, is what you're telling us, James. Is
Right.
that correct?
Correct.
Okay. On the
What is this for?
do what now? Municipal fund, that's what they take out if it goes into the general fund, is that right? The 64 goes into the, yeah.
We're all, according to what we budgeted, we've already met the minimum that we're supposed to spend on marketing and advertising, which was $28,000.
For the city?
No, for lottery stacks like what these meetings are, with what we had budgeted. Originally, we're only required to spend $28,000 on this. But what we used that municipal funding for was to paint the museum, the city building. We're also using it to help paint part of the Denton building and pay for the fireworks.
Okay, I'm just curious.
It was 34 last.
Yeah,
It's 34
It was
last.
less than that.
Okay, and
because we have those two projects left.
Okay, I just asked.
we obviously are building a balance.
Yes. It
And I
looks
would like
nice.
to address that with y'all,
Okay, no, that was good.
because I have some thoughts on that
All right.
before we go hog wild.
Okay.
So,
Look at all the money I could
Oh,
spend.
you know, I was so ready to, you know.
and it's, you know, considering that we have one project that's asking for a sign, this is going to go over really well. We need to replace the entry signs.
I totally agree. Can we go with
There-
service signs? That's
Yes.
City of Lovington
yellow,
entry
orange.
signs?
Yes. Actually, we have a couple of renderings to where it would be a fake stucco brick type design with the three-dimensional backlit letters. We can actually use the existing frames and bases for it. However, each sign costs $15,000. So that's the one quote that we received. I
Is there
mean,
just
but
two signs?
there's four.
Four, okay. I didn't know if it was just two or four.
So
Well, that takes that.
if we
Okay,
can
y'all
build,
get nothing.
are we going to get it done this year? No. We are building up a cash balance. That would be something, because that is one of the first things that folks see whenever they're entering one of the four
I think it
entrances to
looks
the
nice
city.
too.
So I know that we are building up a healthy cash balance in the fund, and just some long-term planning for that. Maybe the beginning of next fiscal year we can replace those signs, because frankly they're an embarrassment at this point. The weather is taking its toll on them. The lighting, the boards inside are,
It's faded.
well,
from
it's
the
faded,
sun.
but even the electrical on the inside is
Well,
reaching the end of its life,
it's-
because
yeah.
they're 15 years old now, I think.
Sounds right.
Yeah, they're old, they're pretty old.
And that means they're gonna be the old ballast.
Correct.
Uh,
But just
what-
take into consideration something like that later on.
What if we combine, or can we, without jacking with the ordinance so much, add that into the municipal funding and we go ahead and vote on a separate percentage that be dedicated, and that way we'll know it'll be an automatic
Kind of
withdrawal?
a monthly.
Can we do that?
I think you could. If that's something
that
that
be
the majority would
something
like
that
to
we-
see, and we can run it by the city commission as well to see. But yeah, I mean,
5,000 a
we can
month
do
would be
something like that.
60,000.
Well, can't,
I don't
Now
want
we
to
do
fund the
that
signs
much.
totally
Yeah,
out of
that
lodger's tax,
Oh,
but
okay.
Right.
if it would help offset some of the costs, or if we found some type of a grant out there, we could actually utilize it for matching funds, or just start replacing them one at a time.
If we did 25 to 3 a month, I mean, if we continue at this rate, that wouldn't be too much of a reach, I don't think.
6,000
The other thing to take into consideration is that the last quarter is often our heaviest,
funding.
heaviest funding in events.
Right.
This would actually help us to fulfill and provide a little bit more funding as well for that next quarter, because we have multiple large events.
Yes, we do.
So if we,
Unless we cancel
what
it.
if we were to double, let's just double the existing municipal funding in the next quarter? And that would be,
No, what he's saying is we need to do it this, oh, you mean the January, February, March?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Coming
The upcoming quarter,
Okay.
yes, the one we're working on, yeah. Would that be, and then we can reevaluate at the next quarter?
Look
Yes,
and
sir.
see where we're at.
Because we obviously have a funding
Which
amount there, and
Doesn't affect their funding.
it's not gonna affect them at all, no.
No.
That's, yes. Okay, somebody asked me a motion. I would, make a motion that we, increase the municipal funding for that quarter
For
to,
January through March.
yeah, to another 6,400 in dedication to the sign,
Lovington.
yeah. I don't know exactly how to say that, but.
And otherwise take the recommendations as presented.
I'm not gonna jump on that yet.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
whole different issue.
Do it
Okay.
separate.
Yeah.
I second
Okay,
Robbie's.
we moved and seconded to increase the municipal funding to $12,800. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
Other than that, I have some more
The-
things, but not in regard to it.
On the sign, Rosa, the way that you request 1,500 and then, you know, it's evaluated and then the potential funding. So what I'm trying to say is it's never going to be, you're going to get your whole 1,500. I don't know.
Can we take the same funding request multiple times? I don't know. I mean, but the only problem is they have to have an invoice.
Correct.
So they would have to pay. What you would have to do is probably get an invoice from whoever's going to do it, and then show these as payments. I don't know. That might be something you need to work. You and Jim need to discuss and come out with. I mean, we're so that we build up to it. This is the first time I've ever had a duplicate request on the exact same item. So that was my confusion. I don't really know how to handle it, and it's not me, it's y'all.
Yeah, and because we didn't use it, that's why he did it.
Right.
And I understand that, and if it's going to cost 1,500 and we only give you 300 or 255 or whatever it comes out to, you're never going to get the 1,500
As a lump.
as a lump sum.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta pay for it.
and if that's what it actually cost, then that's our donation towards it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what
We see
Lodgers
what
Talk's
happens
going to
with
give
that.
towards it, and probably can't give any more. Is my point. It's not that we're saying we're not going to pay for the sign. We just can't do the whole 1,500. because, you know, nobody gets everything they ask for here. Sometimes you get more, very rarely.
They did payments.
Were there any other items you wanted to bring up, James, or was that the only one that?
I'm actually kind of a fan of the sign.
I know you are, and that's the reason that I'm trying to get us there.
And
No,
I mean, honestly,
how do we
I
get
would
there
think-
at $300?
Unless they do one every quarter and whoever does it does take payments or something.
Honestly, I would, my suggestion is fund it 50%, say you come up with the other 50% this quarter.
Okay.
I know Jim, I know he's under the weather, but I know Jim has the ability to go out there and raise funds, and I think if we could at least commit 50% this
Change that
quarter,
to 750.
that I think that would help. Because it is, I mean, it's outside, it's permanent, it's outside of town.
Again, that doesn't take away from the others.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I actually had a thought in reading these earlier. Like, let's just the community breakfast. If an item is under a certain amount, can we kind of take it off of the weight instead of going through the evaluation process? Can we deal with that item on an individual basis, just to speed it along and help probably, you know, work on some of these smaller items. The community breakfast, I mean, when you ask for $700 and by the time it goes through all of that,
right,
we're going to end up with
$250.
No, I mean, if you guys set that limit, we can take that. I guess we just need a
What do you think?
a
1,000 or
guideline
less?
as far as what is a limit.
1,500.
I don't know how, you know, another thing to consider is I don't know how long we're going to be in this windfall. Hopefully, with everything, we're going to move even into a greater windfall, and we'll have more money for everybody to work with. But $1,000,
Yeah, limit.
that be okay? Or $999? How about that?
Okay.
Make it easy.
And below?
Sounds good. Do you need
And that'll
to-
take that off of having to wait it out, and then
Are
we
we taking
can.
that one off this time?
Well, and then we can evaluate. I guess we could vote on a dollar amount based on that, which would have. So if we take those two items and we bump the museum sign up to $750,
And what are we
That
going to
is
put
the
the
motion.
community breakfast up to?
I would say 500 maybe.
Okay,
Is that a?
that works for
You
me.
have to, okay.
Okay.
Is that
Sounds
good with
good to me.
everyone? Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay, I make that motion. $750 for the museum sign, $500 for the community breakfast to be.
And everything else is recommended.
Everything else, if
As
we want to put it all together, everything else based on the recommendation.
I second it.
Been moved and seconded to increase the community breakfast to 500, the museum sign to 750, and to accept the recommendations on the other funding
That's presented.
as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
All right, last item for me is, what? Well, I have to request that either one, I need to resign and let you put somebody on here to replace me, or if we could move this to make sure the meetings these board meetings are on the second week of the month, except in January. Has to be.
But we don't have one in January, so.
Well,
we're
I know. Is that a problem?
The only I know that we used to do them really early, and the reason we did that, or we moved them to like the absolute last minute, was so we could actually get real numbers
Yeah,
instead
get
of
all the
guessing.
funding
So
requests.
it's not a problem as far as, I mean, I think we're seeing some stability.
Right.
As far as moving it to the second week, that's,
I have to
That's
be in the area on the second week. I'm actually have to ask the EDC to make the same consideration. I will be here that week, but I accepted another position that I have to be on. It's the second week of the month. It's actually the second Tuesday. So however that actually works, I have to be in town, and I've already dedicated that I would be here that week. So
Okay.
we'll just have to work around it. But otherwise, you know, I just don't want to hang out, because obviously had I not been here, we would have not had quorum tonight.
Sure,
so.
sure, and I don't think that will be a problem.
Okay.
And then, even if we, for instance, I know you said not the second week in January, but if we have to, we can move it into the actual quarter.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
I
won't
see.
meet again till March.
I understand.
Yeah.
So it'd be like the second week in March is what you're.
Yes, I'd have to look at a calendar, but as long
So
as
we can work around that.
Okay, all right.
It's fine.
I appreciate it, and I'll continue. These items will help a lot. Other than that,
Madam
Madam
President,
Chairman?
if there's no further, did you want to?
anybody? Yeah, we didn't open it up. Is there any?
Anything else? Do we show them what they're getting?
I'm
Oh.
fixing the
Oh,
handout.
okay.